Hi, and welcome to Design Space Friday with Shirley Ross. I am sharing with you today a stencil that I created to do a stamping technique for the background of a scrapbook layout, and I wanted to share how I created it. The first thing I did, I'm going to minimize this down a little bit so you can see more, was I brought in the shape, a square. I made it white just so it would be easier to see, and I went ahead and made it 12 inches. Now it's not going to cut, it's just going to be there for my template. And then we're going to arrange it to the back. So I knew I wanted to do a Disney theme, so I found a Mickey Mouse that I own, or licensed to use, and I just wanted the outline. So I went ahead and deleted all of the parts. Now I will say, um, let me see what this one looks like, because this one has a lot of contours. This is the actual background where you're going to put it on. And I have it at 8 points, 11 and a half high. So let's make this one 11 and a half high. And nope, he's not going to work. All right, let's undo that. Just wanted to check. So we'll bring this back in. What I'll do is I moved him down to where he's going to go on the page, and I put him where his ear was off a little bit, his tail was off a little bit, and a little bit of his foot, because this is going to be cut out in paper, and then it's going to be placed on a 12 by 12 sheet of cardstock, and it's going to be put on with repositionable adhesive, and then I'm going to stamp all around it. And when you remove the stencil, then you'll see the stamping. And then I went ahead and made a title that I liked, and I think it went out like that, but I did make it red, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it red. All right, and then I found a star in one of the Close to My Heart retired cartridges that had the curve, and it was just a normal, not a star, diamond. I call these the Disney stars. And I just elongated it and made it thinner so that it would remind me of the Disney stars. And I made a large, medium, and a small. I arranged them the way I wanted them to look because I created a stencil for these so I could do textured paste. So those were cut out of film, and the Mickey was cut out on just plain paper. I have some desk pads that I use. You could do an old desk pad calendar, just something real thin so that when you laid it on there, thick enough not to let the stamping go through, but thin enough that it's not going to leave an edge, because sometimes when you use cardstock on top of cardstock, you get an edge, and you wanted a sharp, sharp edge on these. And then when I got ready to make it, I would say what I didn't do on the last one was I would go in and contour all of these, and you could probably do it quicker just by contouring it. You can do hide all contours. There we go. And that way you don't have all those cuts. Oh, but I didn't want that one. So let's go back and I do want that one. Okay. So that will show. But then you don't have like where his eyes are going to go and all the cuts that would have been for the placement of the objects that went on top. He is just a Disney character from one of the Disney cartridges. Let's go. Let's see, image there. It is Mickey Mouse. I'll come up here just a minute. Mickey and Friends. So just to let you know which one I used. So we'll close that up. Which cartridge and image I got it from, but you could use any image, and I'm going to show you that again in a moment. So then when I got ready to cut, you can either just hide the square that's behind and then send it to the Cricut, the Explorer, or you can actually delete it because you're not going to need it again once you made it. So this is, I'm going to save this one. This is how I created this one, and then I'm going to show you the second one that I created. I'm going to go to my projects, and this one I actually used words. I brought in, it's going to take a while because I did the writing, and I'm going to show you how I curved all that writing, because you know we don't have snap to edge like some programs have. So what I did is I'm going to bring in another shape. Well, I'll show you the heart. I brought in the heart for this one, and then I made it big enough to fit what I wanted. I deleted it after it was done, and so then just make it the size. Again, I did the same thing. I brought in the 12 by 12 piece, and then put the star where or the heart where I think I wanted it to go, a little bit bigger on that. One more time. There we go. That might have been too big. Yeah. So make it a little bit smaller. There we go. A little bit fall in there. I'd have to curve it just a little bit because I put it on the way I wanted it to go in the layout. There we go. That's kind of what I did. And then you can see you just take the writing around. And now I'm going to show you how I did that. So I'm just going to do a circle. So it'll be easy. When you're working with the curve of the text, you want to do it in small segments of the sentence, like I did. You lost your first tooth. That was what I was using here. So let's just say something. The cow jumped over the moon. So if we do all of it, and I'm going to make it writing. If we do all of it, it might work better because I am using a circle instead of a heart. But let's see. I made it 12-point font size because I wanted it small to write, but I did space out the letter spacing, because you'll see that some of the letters are kind of close to each other. So I did go ahead and space it out so that when it wrote, it wouldn't jumble all the letters together. Then we'll go to curve text. Curve it. Put it right there. Okay, so now let us duplicate that. It may work really good in the circle. Just keep turning it. Yeah, the circle's not going to be as hard as it was, but it's hard to catch these little ones. It doesn't help when my, there we go. It's not exactly perfect on this one. Let's curve it a little more this way and bring it down a little bit more. It's just a matter of playing with it until you get it just the way you want it. But if you're working with, yeah, it's hard to catch those words. Sometimes you're just catching the, there we go. That one did kind of curve funny into that. So if you are going to need to do it in sections, then you would just do like the cow. I think we do all these. The cow jumped. All right, and then we will make it 12. It can be time consuming, but once it's done, it's really cool. And then we wait for it to do that, and then we will do the letter spacing so we get it spread out. And if some of the words look like they're too far apart, you can ungroup and move them closer, but you need to curve them first. All right, so let's curve it this way, and then let's bring it down to the bottom in here. And then you just turn that little piece, right, and you can see it's definitely got a large curve, so it may need to be a little bit. But I think it's good. That one's good. I think there we go. Let's bring it a little bit closer. No, it's got too much of a curve in it, so let's take some of it out. And you can do that by just moving it a little bit less. There we go. And then moving it. It's just a matter of getting it exactly the way you want it. And that probably could have a little less of a curve in it. Now this one where it's just not fitting in there very well, there we go. That's much better. And like I said, you just have to play with it and do it in increments. Like on these ones, I just did like your mom gave, then I did ice cream to ease the pain so that I could just curve it. So it's just a matter of manipulating them around and just breaking it down into smaller pieces. The hearts and things, I just put them in and then just use the angle to angle them. But it was really fun making it, and I hope that you give it a try. Thanks.